Hi everyone, welcome to Life Prepared. I wanted to show you really quick how I dehydrate mushrooms. We happen to love mushrooms here. We eat them at least 4 to 5 times a week. And unfortunately the prices have really jumped in the last couple of months. I used to be able to get a package like this for $1.48, and now they're almost $2.50. So every time I get a package in, or when I get super lucky and I find one on clearance for like 99 cents a pack, I dehydrate them. So I just thought I'd do a very quick video, show you one of my favorite tools, and I'm going to tell you, I picked that up at a garage sale for $8. That's my second one. My first one I used for 30 years, I had paid like $3 for. And this one I've already had 5 or 6 years. So super, super easy to do. I'm just going to take my mushrooms. Now they've already been washed and cleaned and dried. I just cut off the end and slice them into pieces. And I really just stick them right on here. Let me show you a little bit closer here. I stick them right on a piece of parchment paper. I do use mine over again. It doesn't get dirty. I mean, it's got a little discoloration on it, but it's not like germy or anything like that. So, and then I'm going to slice up my next one. Now, sometimes I do, just like this. I'm going to be out of town for a couple of days. I don't want to waste them. They'll fit really good in my long-term food storage once they're dry. And if I can't afford to buy them, or I want them for a meal and they run out, all I have to do is pull the jar out of my pantry and toss them in my recipe. I even crumble them up on pizza and all kinds of stuff. So there you go, really quick. I got 3 mushrooms here. If I do this every time I buy a pack, it adds up and I end up with a jar full. Now I do like to put, because they dry really kind of quick, if I only have a few, I put the additional trays underneath. So I'm going to do that now, because they do get a little overcooked or dried out too fast, and then they really don't last well. Or they get so brittle that, I can't rehydrate them to use them. So since I only have a few on that tray, I'm going to put my other trays in there and get that as far away from the heat element. This one happens to come up from the bottom. And then I just put the lid on top. I turn it on. And that's it. I'll show you what they look like when they're done. Ooh, everyone, I'm back. I had to show you something else. I was at the store, and I didn't even think about it till I went to cut this pineapple up for dinner. But I found it in the clearance bin. One side was kind of bruised up pretty bad, but it was only 50 cents. And if you have never had dehydrated pineapple, not the stuff where they add the sugar and all that stuff, but just plain dehydrated pineapple, oh, you are missing something really amazing. This is like nature's candy. So just like I did with the mushrooms, I'm going to slice this up. I'm going to put it on a tray, and I'm going to put it in the dehydrator with the mushrooms. And like I said, since I'm going to be out of town for a couple of days, I'm going to see what else might be in the refrigerator, since I have to run it for 24 hours about. And I'm going to see what else I might be able to toss in there that I could put in my long-term food storage. Now, I want to tell you something. I kept the core. I love the core inside. If you're cooking a chicken, put that in the cavity and, bake it. It is just so yummy. It adds so much flavor. You will just be amazed. Well, I'm going to add this to my tray here, and I'm going to throw that in with the food dehydrator. And once I get everything done, I'll show you what it looks like. Hello, you guys are going to think I'm nuts, but I did add one more thing to my dehydrator. I'm doing a little experiment, and I can already tell I think the blanched ones are going to be better. I was given a package of pea pods. A friend of mine is going out of town. She left today and said, would you like some pea pods? I have this 1.5 pound bag and I'm not going to be able to use them, and I hate to just feed them to the chickens. And of course I said I would. So her and I swap back a lot. I'm doing an experiment. I've never dehydrated them before. So I took some fresh from the package and I put the whole ones are those. And then I always blanch them to put them in the freezer. So these were blanched, and I'm going to see how well they dehydrate down. But these are really much prettier than the ones I didn't blanch. But we'll see how it goes. And to be honest, if these don't work, my dogs love them as treats, and they'll be happy to take them. Now, don't be surprised if, when I open this up again, you see one more thing in there, or two, or however many I have. I have some overripe bananas, so I'm thinking about putting them in there, but I do like them in my protein shakes a lot, so I'm going to determine that yet while I'm finishing cooking dinner here. But I just wanted to show you, you can add so many different things to the dehydrator. To me, it is one of my most valuable things I own here. I can dehydrate so many different things, even on this little cheapie. It does not have a temperature control or anything like that. Man, would I die to have an Excalibur, which is, you know, over $300. But they have some pretty decent ones if you guys are thinking about it. There's a Nesco, Nesco. They sell for around $80. The one I kind of would like to have is squarish. It's kind of square. I think you get a better layout, and it has a temperature control and things like that. So, but if you see one of these in a thrift store or a garage sale and it turns on, pick it up and start playing with it. You will be so happy you did. Hi everyone. I wanted to give you a little update on the drying process. I was wondering if these were done, and the only way I can tell is I had to take them out for a good 10 minutes and let them cool down. And I feel each one, especially concentrating if there's any thick parts when I cut them, they all feel dry. They are very brittle, as you can see, if I were to snap them. If I left them overnight with the rest of them, this one is just a hair damp right here. So this is going to go back in the dehydrator. I can feel just a little dampness right here on the skin, on the stem. That's why it's important to let them cool, because if not, they're still pliable and you can't feel them as well. So I started checking them about 4 hours after I put them in the dehydrator, because the thin ones will dry out a lot faster. And I found another one earlier that was still just a tad damp. The peas are definitely still moist, as is the pineapple. I took the pineapple off the plastic that I had it on. At first I put it on there because it'll stick really bad to the plates. And I in turn put that onto some parchment paper. And as you can see, these are still really, really pliable. So they're not done yet, and they're still sticky. So these will go back in overnight. It's about midnight here, so I'm going to head to bed. And if I get up during the night, I usually wander by and kind of check them again. And on these particular dehydrators, let me show you a little closer here, where all the heat comes up from the bottom, it tends to blow more concentrated right here in the front. So every time I go by, I give the whole thing a little spin so that it doesn't get too overly dry on one side, because you'll actually almost burn them in a way. So anyway, mushrooms are done, these ones here. These are going to go right into a jar because I don't want them to absorb any moisture, which I doubt they will in the winter time, but in Michigan in the summer they'll definitely sometimes get some moisture back in, so from the humidity. But just a quick check-in, and we'll look at the rest of this in the morning and see how it's looking. Good morning, everybody. Let's see what we got here. I did turn this off a little bit ago because, like I said, you want it a little bit cool. Ooh, that's definitely done. The peas are done, as you can see, and you know, comparing them, the ones I blanched are a little bit greener. These look kind of faded here. They don't look horrible, but I think if I did them again, I do like the color of the blanched ones a little bit better. See, as you can see here, see?
This is unblanched, and this is unblanched. The color's a little off, so this was an experiment. It's the first time I did it. It's not that I'm going to throw them away, but those are definitely, you can hear. Can you hear? They're definitely dry. The mushrooms are done. Pineapple. Oop, one of the peas fell through. Pineapple, I'd say most of it's done. There's still a little, oh yeah, see that one still bends just a little bit. Too easy. If I ate it right away, it would probably be okay, but I want to put these away for a little bit. So I'm going to put these back on. I'm going to sort through them. Some of these are definitely done. I don't want them to get, yeah, this one, see, that one's definitely done. I can't bend it at all. So I'm going to pick through these. I'm going to put a couple of these other ones back on and let them finish up. But that's how easy it is to dehydrate stuff. And this would have probably gone to waste because I'm going to be gone for 4 days. I ate the other portion, well, other half, I should say, of the pineapple because I love pineapple. And this will be a great treat another time. So to me, if you get the opportunity, anytime I see these, I grab them. I don't care if they're the little cheapy ones. This happens to be the Mr. Coffee brand. I gave one just like it, a different brand. It was the round kind. It was black on the bottom. A Ronco one to my daughter. She uses it all the time. And this kind of lives on my top of my microwave. And whenever I have a few things that I need to use up, I throw them in the dehydrator. So if you learned anything, please give me a thumbs up, because it does help my channel. I appreciate you visiting, and you guys have a wonderful day.
Alright, I just wanted to show you the completed pineapple. As you can see, it's really brittle. Sorry, my dog's in the background wanting to play ball, and I'm ignoring her, and she don't like it. And the mushrooms you saw, they're really brittle as well. As you can see, they crack easy. And let me get on the sunny spot here, the little pea pods. You want them to break just like that. So that's why I enjoy having a dehydrator. It may not be a lot, but you know, every time I buy a pineapple, I could put some away. I once had a bushel of jalapenos that I grew, so much so that people were running away from me, not wanting them. And I dehydrated them on my little trays. I did this outside because the smell is overwhelming. And I got that whole bushel down to a pint-sized jar, twice this size. It's amazing. Every time I need them, all I have to do is take a teaspoon or a tablespoon, throw it in my recipe, and I have jalapenos forever. I guess I better go play because the little monster is not going to let me get away with this. Bye, everybody.